I'll send it back over to Scott, who's with JMU head coach Mike Houston.
That's right, Bobby. For the first time at CAA Media Day, we welcome Mike Houston, a new head coach at James Madison. Welcome to Baltimore.
Thanks a lot. Good to be here.
Absolutely. And, anyone that follows CAA football or college football at all knows why James Madison is such an attractive place to be.
Right.
What was it for you that made you say, I want to be a Duke?
Well, I think I knew of James Madison's reputation as an academic institution. But really, when I stepped on campus and you saw just everything about the campus, the support there, to have the whole place in the shape that it's in, and then you see the athletic facilities in particular, Bridgeforth Stadium, the Plecker Center, and just the commitment that's made to football there, you realize just what a high ceiling a place like that can have. And I'm coming from a place that maybe is a little bit tougher to recruit than others. And so for me, it was exciting to have an opportunity to be somewhere where I think I can go after, the top talent anywhere around. And so I'm really excited to be there.
What do you want to bring to this James Madison program as head coach?
Well, the biggest thing we're trying to do is we're trying to build a program with a solid foundation and one that is prepared to be a consistent competitor for the conference championship every single year. And I think that certainly that's my expectations, and I think that's the players' expectations.
You've had a lot of success as a coach. Your teams have had success in running the football. James Madison last year had success in every aspect of offensive football. But Cardon Johnson, Khalid Abdullah, both back. They combined for over 2,000 yards rushing. What do you expect the offense to look like this year?
Well, I think we'll be very balanced because you mentioned Cardon and Khalid, and obviously we're blessed to have two players that either one could be the feature back on any college football program. But they play well together. We're going to play them together as well as alternating them throughout the year. But we're also very talented at the wide receiver position. So we're going to be a very balanced offense. I think we should have the potential to be very explosive on offense.
Last season, quarterback Vad Lee was on pace to win the Peyton Award, most likely, when he was injured in Week 8 against Richmond. Brian Shore came in, finished off the season for the Dukes, but this offseason you were able to get a transfer quarterback, the opening day starter last year at South Carolina in Connor Mitch. How did that opportunity come about for you?
Well, I think first I want to touch on Brian real quick, and I thought he filled in great for Vad last year. We felt great coming out of the spring about Brian. I think he is very capable of leading our football program at a very high level. The only thing I didn't feel good about was, Brian was the only scholarship quarterback I had on the roster when I took the job. We signed a really solid freshman, but he's going to be a freshman in Cole Johnson. He's going to be a great player one day, but we're getting ready to play a season against a tough slate of opponents. And so I really wanted to add better depth and experience to that position. And so when I had the opportunity to bring Connor Mitch on board, it was one that we took advantage of. And Connor's brother, Ryan, was a GA for me at Lenore-Rhine, so I knew the family. And then Coach Kirkpatrick recruited Connor very hard at East Carolina, so you had some relationships there already. But, I feel like having Connor there is going to make everyone better because he's going to push Brian. The competition will be good for both of them. Brian will enter camp as our starter, but it's going to be an open competition just like any other position on our team, and the best player will play.
Now, with an offense that James Madison had last season, a defense can get overlooked, and sometimes a defense doesn't have to be as solid when you're putting up points like the Dukes did a season ago. But statistically, bottom portion of the league in points allowed, in yards allowed. But you got guys like Gage, Steele, Andrew Ankara are going to be back for your squad. How can the Dukes improve defensively?
Well, I think the biggest thing is you saw from the playoff performance the last 2 years, if you don't have a solid defense, eventually you're going to run somebody that can stop your offense. With Vad or without Vad, you're going to run somebody that's just as talented as you are. So I feel like championships are won. I feel like postseason games are won by having a solid defense and then an offense that plays together with that. And the biggest thing we saw last year was, defensively, I did not feel like the players were on the same page. I thought there was too many mental mistakes that ended up resulting in big plays, and then all of a sudden you lose your confidence a little bit, and things kind of snowball on you. So we really focused on getting everybody on the same page, the players knowing the scheme inside and out, and then we've been very, very focused on being much better at the point of contact. And I expect us to be a much more physical football team overall, not just defensively, but overall than what they were last year.
Well, Gage Steele is going to lead the way. I feel like that's the perfect linebacker
Oh,
name.
that's what
There was a superhero whose power was to tackle.
I told him his parents did a great job naming him. They built him to be a great inside linebacker.
Well, welcome to the CAA.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Best of luck in year 1. We're going to send over to Bobby Orioles, who is with Gage Steele in a very sharp-dressed young man.
That's right, Scott. I mean, you guys, you didn't get the memo. You're not supposed to outdress the host today, so especially you, Brandon. Where'd you get this giddy up at?
I found it on the side of the street, actually.
Very nice, very nice. Well, I'm going to start here with you, Gage. Second leading tackler on the team. You've been a consistent presence and a leader for this team for a while, but this is your third different head coach in your career. So I have to ask, what has this offseason been like? First, under the new head coach, Mike Houston, and talk about some of the transitions throughout your career during all 3 head coaches.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge, having 3 different head coaches. But it's having the team, just sticking together, and believing in the coach that's coming in, and implementing the type of things that they want, going on. The team's just been sticking together, learning the new verbiage, everything that the coach wants, and he's a great guy, and he's been doing real well for us.
The defense did a good job last year in creating turnovers, but of course, really struggled at times getting off the field. What has been the emphasis this offseason on that side of the ball?
Yeah, Coach Trot has definitely, brought in some good things that we can run during the season. We're a multi, personnel offense or defense. My fault. Can run against the offense and stuff like that. But he's putting in a lot of good things. We're learning a lot of the base stuff right now. You want to get that down first, and then you can build upon it. But we're executing the stuff well, and it's something that's going to help us during the season. We're going to be able to go full speed, all the time, just because we know where we're going. So.
Now, your freshman year, when we visited you, doing the CA football on campus feature series, you talked about your mentor being Stephon Robertson when he was a senior, the great linebacker at JMU. When you were a freshman. Now sitting here, you being the senior, who are some of the guys you're mentoring underneath that, maybe are looking to make a breakout year for that defense?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely got a couple of guys, that we're looking to help out. We got a few good freshmen that came in. They're just learning this whole new college life and stuff like that. But Dimitri Holloway is going to be a big part in our defense. He's been doing real well with learning the defense. Getting acclimated to the college life. Brandon Herford also, that y'all are aware of, is doing a great job, and we're all just working together, to make the linebacker core as strong as we possibly can, and make the team better. So.
Who are some of the other guys outside of the younger guys that are returning that are looking to make a big impact as well? Of course, you got Andrew Anker there on the defensive line.
Right, yeah, that's what I was about to say. Andrew Anker, he's something to be reckoned with. He's working real good. We got Taylor Reynolds out there. He's been consistent, doing really well, and we look to see a lot out of him. And we just got a couple more guys that are gonna step up and fill up these spots that we really need. And everybody's excited about the defense this year. Yep. We got Coach Trot helping us out. We believe in his plan, and we think it's gonna be really good.
Now let's move over to Brandon real quick. Big season for you in 2015. You led the team in receiving yards, splash plays in the return game. How much fun was it last year as a receiver playing in that fast-paced offense?
Oh, it was a blast. We have a great receiving core, obviously a great quarterback, and we just try to have a good time. We really emphasize that. We get our work done when it's needed, and we put in a good amount of it, and we make each other better. But we just really go out there just trying to have fun, because that's supposed to be the fun position on offense. So we just go out there and just try to have a good time.
Speaking of the fun position, the whole receiving core is coming back. I mean, a lot of the guys that made plays last year. Talk about some of those guys, and what is the competition like day in and day out with all of those receivers?
Oh, it's unreal. And we all help each other out. First, you got Damo Taylor on the outside, number 3. unbelievable athlete, unbelievable physique. Scares me still, but he's a great football player. He teaches me a lot in the aspect of being physical and being tough. Rashard Davis, in the slot, a good friend of mine. I look up to both these guys still. They still teach me a lot. He's going to have a big year coming back. Ishmael Hyman coming back, obviously. He's unbelievable athlete. And all these guys have something unique about them, and they're all going to have big years this year too. And
to wrap it up, Brandon, this year you have a new head coach. You also have a new starting quarterback going into training camp this year on offense. What changes do you foresee in this offense in 2016?
Well, it's yet to be decided, I guess. Everything's kind of changed. We're kind of adjusting, filling each other out, playing to each other's strengths, and things are going really good. The transition's been awesome. Brian coming back, starting in training camp, like you said, he's looking really good. A whole new player, looking really good. Coach Easton's done an amazing job. Amazing coach, amazing mentor, and we take to him really well. So we're just really excited to get back to it and get ready for another season.
Awesome. Well, Brandon, Gage, thank you so much for joining us here at CA Football Media today. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Yes,
of course.
Sir.
All right.
Yep.